Welcome back to our coffee break catch-up. Today we have Aidan Lyons, our Indirect Tax Associate Director here at Grant Thornton. So Aidan, we're just going to have a quick chat today in relation to the impact of Brexit. Obviously recently the UK government has released a number of papers. Have those give any more insights to businesses in relation to the impact of Brexit?
I think it does. I think it does provide further detail on the UK's thought processes and the direction of travel they would like negotiations to take. So it does give businesses some further clarity on what they might be able to expect. But by the same token, I think it also emphasises the complexities of those negotiations and potentially the different relationship the EU and the UK will have going forward.
Even with the publication of these papers, there's a lot of uncertainty still in relation to Brexit. What are the main issues businesses will be facing?
I think it's difficult for businesses at the moment because it's difficult to plan for the future when the future is uncertain. So if your trade is with the EU, either particularly or significantly, then it's hard to make those decisions when you don't quite know what the future relationship will look like. However, what we can do is say that businesses need to start planning now, because as negotiations evolve, and we've seen it with the publication of these papers that things are beginning to evolve, businesses need to be able to be proactive rather than reactive. So if they're making plans for what the impact may be, as we get greater clarity, they're in a better position to react more quickly to those challenges and be ahead of the game when we finally understand what that future relationship will look like.
It is clear then that planning will be key for businesses navigating through Brexit. From your point of view, how do you think indirect taxes will be affected?
Well, there may be a number of differences that businesses currently experience. So for example, when you move goods within the EU, there is no VAT and customs duty payable. If the UK is outside the customs union and the single market, import VAT will be payable on goods they bring into the UK, as will potentially customs duty. By the same token, when they sell goods to EU customers, they will have to pay import VAT and potentially customs duty on those goods in order to bring them into the EU. On top of that, you may have delays while paperwork is reviewed and signed off at the customs border. So therefore, there may be delays in the movement of the goods from the UK to the EU and from the EU to the UK. So therefore, those are a number of issues they may need to be aware of. In terms of VAT, the UK will be potentially outside the jurisdiction of the European courts, and therefore at the moment, while we are bound by the decisions of the European court, going forward, that may no longer be the case.
Well, thanks very much for that, Aidan. Hopefully that was insightful for businesses out there, and hopefully we will be able to help you with planning in relation to Brexit. Obviously, if you do have any questions or any queries, Aidan will be more than happy to discuss those with you, and we'll see you at the next coffee break catch-up.